he met her family. Not only did he meet her family, they were gonna get a place together. A place together? Hey my beautiful peeps, my name is Char and welcome to Char TV. For my existing subscribers, I appreciate you coming on back, and if you're new and stumbled on my channel and you're wondering what I'm about, well, I'm just someone that is addicted to 90 Day Fiance. So I recap the 90 Day Fiance The Other Way show. I give you quite a bit of detail. Today's recap is for episode 5, Facing Fears, and it was all right. If you watch me quite often, well then you know I usually save Ari and Benny for last, but not today because they were kind of dry. Not too much going on with them. I'm gonna get those guys out the way. Benny decides to take Ari to experience the healing of holy water.
So do they ever have like scientists come here and like test the water and see if it has some kind of different water than in other places in the world?
If he doesn't trust about the holy water, whatever million times if he's coming, it's not work for him, you know?
So I have to believe in it for it to work.
Yeah. የጸበልን የማዳን ታምር በጣም አንድ ሺህ አንድ ጊዜ ሚሊዮን ጊዜ አይቼበታል።
You know, I gotta give props to Ari. She's always so accepting of embracing new aspects of the Ethiopian culture. She never really shies away from anything, so I give her props for that. And especially since nothing was really explained to her about the process of this healing of holy water. So she was going in there blindly. Once they arrived, they had to separate because the men and women can't mix together. So Benny went off to the men's area and Ari went off to the women's area.
እንደምናስበው ኖርማል ቀዝቃዛ ውሃ አይደለም። የተባረከ በቄሶች ተባርኮ የሚመጣ ውሃ ነው።
Poor Ari is under this pipe that's gushing the holy water and it is stone cold.
The water is freezing cold. It's coming out of like the stone thing. So like the pressure and the cold water on this part of your head, like I felt like I was like gonna have almost an out-of-body experience.
She took it like a champ, man. I have to say she took it like a champ because I can just imagine how cold it was. Like, she handled it pretty well. After her and Benny were done, Benny thanked her for going through this for him, and he mentioned that he prays for his family all the time. Oh, that was really, really sweet. And it means a lot to him that Ari is so accepting of his culture since like day one. And she's thinking, I hope that me going through all this, you know, taking on his culture and experiencing these things shows him that I'm serious about him and this relationship, and that she really wants to make things work. That's pretty much all with those guys. They didn't, like I said, they were very underwhelming. They didn't show them too much. On to Ellie and Victor. Victor's whole purpose of going to San Andreas was to pick up supplies that he could bring them back to his sister Mary and the kids. And it's about a 4-hour boat ride. Poor Ellie was extremely nervous because after the hurricane, it's probably not gonna look the greatest. And not to mention, they only had a certain time to do everything they wanted to and then get back to the dock to get back to San Andreas, because if not, they'd be stranded. They get there and it was a terrible sight.
The island used to be so lush and green.
It's not green anymore. It's just like a dark island, like a black island. It feels weird, very weird. I don't even recognize where we are.
Honestly, you guys, while watching it, I almost teared up myself because the island just looks so devastated. It was horrible. I can't imagine those poor people going through that. And Ellie as well had no words to even describe what she was seeing. She actually said it was apocalyptic, and It honestly looked just like that. And she was even more upset because Providencia was to be her new home. That's why she went down there to live and be with Victor. Victor was fortunate enough to borrow a car so that they could do what they had to do while being on the island.
It's very sad.
See, that house is the one that totally gone. There's nothing left.
They went off to Mary, where she was staying. She's staying at her brother-in-law's because her home was just made out of wood. So of course it was destroyed. The brother-in-law was in a more, stable home, made out of concrete, so it actually survived. So that's where they were able to stay. Mary was very appreciative of Ellie bringing clothes for the kids and whatnot. That was really, really nice because they have nothing.
You wanna see my sister's house?
What time did you move from this house to the?
At 8 o'clock in the night.
Oh,
And
wow,
the breeze
so
started
pretty
something
early.
like
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, that is.
Losing everything.
I'm so sorry.
They say that it was coming, yes, but we didn't expect that it's going to be
So
fire.
big.
And Victor as well was very happy that Ellie decided to come, knowing that the island just went through a hurricane, but she still came to be with him, and that meant a lot to him. And he said, hopefully, we'd be able to work out our issues and we can create a beautiful relationship. Aww. Ellie and Victor arrive at Victor's house and it was surprisingly intact.
Still standing. I have no idea how that house survived because it does not make sense. I'm proud of your house, babe.
It's strong. I bought him up this one from outside.
Sorry. I mean, it saved the window. It's like
Save this one.
nothing happened in here.
Nothing happened in here.
His uncle's house was destroyed, his mom's house was destroyed, and they're right behind his. For some reason, his was okay. If that ain't God. Ellie is having second thoughts now, saying, was this the smartest thing to do? Because there's no infrastructure, there's no medical, there is nothing. So how are they gonna live? Ellie is a good woman for heading down there because there's some people that wouldn't even bother, right? Because the island just went through a hurricane. For me, maybe I would have gone down there to just help out, be supportive, but then I would have taken my tail right back home. There's no way that I would stay there until things are a little bit better. What about you? Would you have gone or would you have stayed? On to my favorite couple, Jenny and Sumit. Sumit decides to take Jenny to the market so that she can get some chanting beads.
This is the one you were saying?
Yeah, the red color one.
Sandalwood.
Okay. I don't really think I want to become a Hare Krishna devotee, but I'm just hoping that the chanting that I learned at the ISKCON temple helps me stay calm down and less stressed out.
Jenny, I don't blame you because I know how much stress you go through with his family and Sumit himself. Give me all the beads. Jenny explains to Sumit that she feels left out. Whenever there's a family function, she feels left out because she ain't allowed to attend. I would feel left out too. She has to stay her tail at home while he's out having fun with his family. She feels that she's at her breaking point and she's not going to take a lot more. And he needs to stand up for her to his parents to show that Jenny is important to him. He needs to grow some balls, okay? We find out that his sister-in-law, I think her name is Cherie, probably maybe butchering a little bit. They find out she is pregnant, the first grandchild in the family. So of course the family is happy and it's in their culture to celebrate. Of course, Jenny won't be able to come because she's not welcome. So she has to stay at home. And she's like, well, there's nothing that I can do about it. What do you mean there's nothing you could do about it? There is something that you could do about it. You can cut it and take your tail and go back home. You've been dealing with this for 9 or 10 years. When are you gonna stop the madness and take your butt back home. You know he's not gonna marry you. You know that they're never gonna accept you. Take your butt back home. You're going through too much and it ain't worth it, to be quite honest. Apparently, when he goes to this celebration, he's gonna stand up for her. We'll see about that. He wants to tell them about the engagement. We gonna see how that goes over. And here's Jenny hoping that they're gonna accept her. Okay, Jenny, keep on hoping. Keep on hoping. He gets to the celebration. They ask him how he's doing.
So, how's you?
I'm good, doing good.
You reduced some weight.
Yeah, because I'm happy now.
So, how's Jenny?
Jenny is also good. अगर वो इतना मेरे को सपोर्ट नहीं करती,
He then goes on to explain that, you know, I feel like Jenny should be a part of these moments. Like, why is she not welcome? And then he said, well, I understand the pressures from society and whatnot, but she's a part of my life because we're engaged now, so she should be here. Mama's face when he said he was engaged. The family said, you know, we don't have any issues with her attending these functions as a friend, but as your lady, it ain't never gonna happen. But she's welcome to attend as a friend. Sure. We can never accept her in everything, because the thing is, if they were to accept her as part of the family, society is gonna kind of shun them. You know, they're gonna shun them. So if they need help or anything like that, neighbors and whatnot, they're not gonna be there for them. They're concerned of what they might look like to everybody around them, because apparently what Sumit is doing is wrong.
I don't want that negative atmosphere on my baby.
I'm doing nothing wrong. I don't think I'm asking too much to have the love of my life and my family both.
I mean, I get what he's saying, but as long as they're together, there's always gonna be tension between them. Curious to see how this is gonna pan out. On to the last couple, Corey and Evelin. They're a little bit juicier this episode. They decide to go to the moms to tell her that they're married. When they get there, the sisters are like, what are you doing here? And she explains, well, I'm here to tell mom that Corey and I got married a year ago. The sisters are like, well, good luck with that. It ain't gonna go down too well. And Evelyn's like, well, you're gonna at least be there for me? Like, we know you don't like Corey. Are you gonna at least be there for moral support? The sisters are like, yeah, we'll be there. Plus, we wanna see the look on mama's face when you tell her. All the family is around and Evelin decides to spill the beans.
Recuerda que no se podía quedar porque la visa se eliminó. Entonces como que se acabaron las opciones. Hace un año más o menos, Corey y yo nos fuimos a Guayaquil y nos fuimos a casar. No, sí, nos casamos.
Her mom was very upset and said, well, you didn't have to hide it from us. You should have told at least us, the parents. You shouldn't have hid that. And Corey explained he did want a proper wedding, but Evelin, you know, she's not into weddings, so it was just the two of them privately. And here's the kicker. Her mama's like, are you happy?
Are you?
No, 100. And that's not a lie. I do feel trapped now that my family knows. I feel like even if I want to escape, I can't. And that's how I feel right now. I'm sorry.
Hey, at at least she's honest. Whether she's happy or not, she gonna be with Corey forever. Corey decides to meet up with his good friend Raul to fill him in on what happened with him and Jenny, and also explain that he's actually married to Evelin.
We got married. Who?
Me and Evelin, we've been married in secret for like a year now, dude.
Are you for real?
I didn't even tell my own family, okay? My visa was running out. It was all very spur of the moment, very quick. She has been so like on it about me not telling anybody.
But then he explains to him things were a little bit more serious with Jenny. Oh God, Corey. This freaking idiot then proceeds to tell him that, oh, I actually met her family. Wait a minute, you weren't even down there that long. But anyhow, he met her family. Not only did he meet her family, they were gonna get a place together. A place together? Meanwhile, this dude is married, huh? Remember, he's married. Wasn't even down there long. You wanna shack up with a girl that you've known for 2 minutes? Like, what's wrong with you? Raul is really surprised because in his eyes, Corey is a saint, like he's a goody two-shoes. So he was really surprised to hear about this whole Jenny situation and him wanting to move in with her. And then Dodo Bird Corey was like, well, I didn't really officially break things off with her. I just stopped talking to her. What's wrong with these dudes? Like, listen, if you don't want to be with somebody anymore, just open up your mouth and say, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. Why do you just freaking disappear? It is so frustrating as someone that has been ghosted before. That's annoying. Like, grow some balls and just tell the woman straight up. She'll appreciate it much more. He asks his buddy, he's like, well, what do you think I should do?
But you should do the right thing. After you tell Jenny to go and face Evelin.
Yeah?
If you don't tell Evelin the full truth about Jenny, I'm gonna have to tell her.
Well, dang, you got a lot of talking to do, Corey. My guy, you better start like right now. Get it taken care of. This should be very interesting. That's everything to this recap. I hope that you enjoyed it. You know, some of the couples, Ari and Binny, they weren't too exciting. I think the highlight of the episode was Corey and Evelin. It was a little bit juicy with them. I'm looking forward to the next episode. So comment down below your thoughts on the episode. Let me know if you saw it or if you just, you know, relying on little old me. If you enjoyed my recap, give me a thumbs up and let me know. I definitely like to see that. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, my beautiful peeps, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye!